Where
We got to go to Cincinnati. That's where we got to go.
Oh.
is my hairbrush?
Where is his hairbrush?
Where is my
where?
hairbrush? Oh, where?
Oh, where?
Oh, where
Oh, where?
is my hairbrush?
I could probably hook you up with a pig. I've definitely got one of those.
You know, it's I just find it very funny that the VeggieTales are all about God, but none of them made it to heaven. But Jeffrey Dahmer certainly did. Hello, my name is Frederick Graves, and welcome to Haunts, Graves, and Omens. With me, as always, is my lovely co-host.
It's me. It's Taylor.
What's up, Taylor Graves? Up top, girl. Nice.
Party people.
And with us, running cameras and sound, the man of many words and many mysteries. It's Bill Bernard.
I don't know who I am. That's a mystery right there.
Oh. We got real deep real fast.
Guys, I know who I am. I just thought that was going to be great.
Bill, your name's on her shirt.
Yes, it is. I don't know how to work my fucking hands. Bill Bernard, that's me. There we go. I'm close. I'm not touching my nipple, but you can imagine that I am.
You've probably been on camera over the collection of H.G.O. and the doc at least over 100 hours at this point, I would assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or damn near close to it.
Yep.
And you still don't understand. When you look at the monitor, we're like,
okay. Anytime.
Have you seen this?
I feel like for me it's been a sensationally long time since I have done like video on a regular basis. Not something where it's like we do the podcast, but like on a daily basis. I don't produce media quite like that, and it's like I've also noticed a lot of the time when I do, nobody's really paying attention. But I do have.
Have you considered trying to threaten politicians? It's a really good way to get a lot of attention really fast.
I have not actually thought to do that because I kind of want my breakout moment where people find me to not be people finding me with guns.
Yeah, you don't want your breakout moment to be from a manifesto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Story of my life.
I've definitely got some interesting ideas, though.
What did Taylor's like, well, I don't know. Well, we are back for part 2 of OJ. Before we get into the story, we have a couple news stories I wanted to share. This comes from London town.
London
I should
town.
have fixed my hair before we did this.
Where is your hairbrush?
King in the castle. You will never get this.
Great. Police in Eastern England on Thursday arrested a 30-year-old man on suspicion of attempted murder after a 3-year-old boy ended up in a crocodile enclosure at a zoo near the English University of the city of Cambridge.
Ooh.
Cambridgeshire police said officers were called to the early afternoon to Johnson Zoo in Oldhurst following, quote, reports of an incident involving a 3-year-old boy during which he ended up in the crocodile enclosure. And no, he does not work there.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yes. I did have to check that. And he was transported about 25 miles away to a hospital. And a random man was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. And Detective Inspector Verity McCann. That's a name.
I like that name.
Verity McCann.
Yeah,
Said,
very British.
Quote, "We do not believe the man arrested and the child are known to each other."
I was going to say
I don't know who's slinging 3-year-olds into a crocodile pit, but also why is the 3-year-olds just walking around a zoo by themselves? I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying it's highly suspicious. What were they doing there?
That is very peculiar. And I was going to say this story is very much giving Florida, or perhaps,
very Florida.
Or maybe even Australia, because I kept wanting to say Crocodile Dundee, Shrimps on a Bobby. Like I kept wanting to do that so badly.
Well, you just did.
Well, yes, I did.
Thank you so much for joining us. You can find us on our socials. Just end the fucking podcast.
That's it, we're done.
Yeah, it's I don't know what they were doing there. I don't know if they were hanging out. I don't think that baby works there. I don't think that guy works there.
Probably not.
I don't know if those crocodiles even work there. They live there. There's too many questions.
A lot of questions.
And that's why they're not releasing the Epstein files.
I was gonna say. Odd to me. Seems a little racist that you'd kill a fucking gorilla, but not a crocodile. But you know what? I guess that's just what happens to monkeys jumping on a bed.
We want answers, Cincinnati. We want answers now. Give me answers now.
Harambe dying was the worst timeline.
Dude,
Dicks out for Harambe, baby.
That's why it's all fucked
Dicks
up
out.
now.
You guys remember that metal song that came out? Anybody hear that?
No.
No, I'll have to show it to you after.
Okay.
It's called Dicks Out for Harambe.
Oh, well, I knew
It just
about
has this
that.
nasty breakdown. It's like, Dicks out for Harambe. Dicks out for the gentle giant. Yeah. Anyway, the other story I have actually came out today. So a couple decided that they wanted to show the whole New York City their love. Angela, Nicola, age 32, Ivan Krinskinov. I butchered that, but whatever. They fucking climbed to the top of the Empire State Building
Yeah.
and proposed. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. The there was like I just saw the footage from the NYPD Air One.
Yeah.
Circling them. And he's like, the guy's on the radio goes, what's all the fuss up there? And he's just like, got a bunch of goobers up on the, like, you know? And they're like, yeah, it's a bit hot out for it. And then they're like, yeah, and they're like fucking around on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, no, all right. So anyway, they get arrested on burglary, reckless endangerment, criminal mischief, violation of local laws, possession of burglar tools, criminal tampering, criminal trespass, and of course, disorderly conduct.
Fuck.
But yeah, they did that. I mean, whatever. They'll be out. And they had a big old banner. It says, when the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace.
Wow.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a harmless thing. Everybody saw it. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm going to count that as a win.
Also, they had nothing. They had no gear getting up there, which was insane.
Yeah, they're like the guy that free climbed El Capitan.
Yeah.
Fucking free climbed.
Didn't somebody climb fucking like a big ass tower on Netflix?
Yes. Yeah, that's who I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. His name is like Alex something. Yeah. I think we even watched it. I could have sworn we watched it.
The only thing I know that we watched for sure was
The rocket launch.
the rocket launch.
Yeah, okay. But yes, he climbed like one of the tallest buildings in Taipei with no gear, and he had solo climbed El Capitan, and I know he's done a couple of other things where it's like, oh, that already is difficult enough to do with gear, but you just did that with nothing. Just with a hope and a prayer.
Insane.
A hope and a prayer.
Yep.
That's insane. It's really cool. I think it's I think it's a cool thing.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
You know, at least, you know, it's like, listen, Luigi Mangione fucking shot the CEO in the back of the head. It was like a big deal in New York City.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big deal.
Dude, I think
Some people were upset, but I feel like almost everyone, when I saw this, they're like, it's pretty cool.
I gotta say
Keep it up, New York City. Keep doing good things and killing bad CEOs. I mean, doing the other thing. Sorry. What was I saying? Keep climbing the Empire State Building.
I just was gonna say, I think New York's back. I think it's back, baby. And I believe in threes. So it's like you got Luigi, you got this solo climb, and then the Mets winning. Like, what's gonna happen next?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Talking about the Mets.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe the Mets.
the Mets. Yeah, I don't know.
Did the Mets win something to win the World Series or something?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
I don't. I don't watch baseball. I watch hockey.
You know, I'd be like that.
The Knicks. That's what I was thinking of.
That's what I was
the
also
Knicks
thinking, but I don't know sports well enough to correct you. That I was like, you mean the Knicks?
Yeah.
You're talking about the New York Knicks. You're talking about the basketball team.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't watch
the
basketball.
Mets are currently 36-51, and they lost 3-9 from the Blue Jays today. So they definitely did not win. Yeah, it was. You know what's really fun is I saw when the New York Knicks won, there was basically riots in New York City, and I'm like, that's so fun, dude. The West Coast doesn't do fun stuff like that when we win. You know?
Yeah,
damn it.
That's definitely a very East Coast thing.
Yeah, it's like whenever like the new whenever the Eagles would go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
we're like super off topic. The local government would like a few days, like a day before the game.
Yeah.
They would go out with like sprayers and they would grease all the light poles.
Yep.
And it was like this is if we win or lose. We have to do this.
Dude went like I can tell you this. I was there in Philadelphia when the Pope had came like within a couple of days. It was insane.
I heard
the
it come,
amount of stuff that they did. Like they had done all
Listen,
of the
guys, the Pope's gonna come a lot.
Oh.
Continue.
a lot. All I was saying was just that, like, the security that was taken into account, everything that was set up, like, they completely changed that city for that event. And then, you know, now we've got an American Pope. So I guess things are changing.
Yeah.
Taylor?
Yes. What have you got for us?
I got one news story.
Yeah.
I was just gonna like leave that at the door.
Who here likes Yu-Gi-Oh?
I summon Pot of Greed to draw 3 additional cards from my deck. And with that, I summon 3 additional Pot of Greeds from my deck. With that, I summon 6 Pot of Greeds from my deck. That's not how it works. You can't do that.
Well, in Oregon, there is a game store that announced it's suspending Yu-Gi-Oh card game tournaments for 1 week. Can anyone guess why?
Is it
Poor hygiene.
I was gonna say, is it because it smells?
It is, in fact, complaints about the hygiene of attendees.
Yuck.
So Kronos Games and Gifts and Beaverton posted an announcement in their Discord confirming no Yu-Gi-Oh events would be held for 1 week. Quote, attention at Yu-Gi-Oh! We regret to inform you that there will be a 1 week suspension on our local events. We've had issues with people mistreating the restrooms and multiple bad reviews because of poor hygiene. As a reminder, we encourage players to follow Konami guidelines and report anyone who does not. Neglecting to wash or put on clean clothes contributes to an unpleasant atmosphere at the event.
What are those guys doing in them bathrooms? That's what I want to know.
They also state duelists who neglect self-care to the point they are negatively impacting the tournament may be asked to correct the issue to continue in the event. Which...
I know. You know exactly what they're doing in the bathroom. They're like, okay, we're just gonna look through our cards. Is that Dark Magician Girl? I'll be right back.
Bro, I was just getting ready to say, that Dark Magician Girl is bad as fuck.
I'll show you my blue eyes white dragon. More like my one-eyed white pot of greed.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh. Okay.
You know, sometimes
The fact that they suspended it for 1 week because they were like, you guys fucking stink.
God,
Figure
that's
it
got to be a
out."
major buildup. Like, I mean, thankfully, we've had decent weather under 90 degrees recently because, God forbid, it had been peaking in the hundreds. You'd have some real bad days. A haze of stink.
years ago, I went to a Comic-Con thing in Vancouver.
Yep.
And afterwards, they had a huge rave. You know?
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh, this would be fun. So we went down there, and I walked in, and I was like, yo, fucking Christ, dude. I left. It was that bad. There's also a silent rave.
Oh,
See where like the
the
Oh,
headphones.
yeah.
So it's just like it's just like the sounds like.
Oh my God, dude.
You would
no.
think there'd be like a little bit ambient music,
Yeah.
you know, just
No.
because then you put it on, it's like you're in fucking Blade, like,
Yeah,
and then you take it off, and it's just like,
but it squeaks.
yeah, you're like, oh shit. Yeah, I walked in, it was gnarly, and I was like there for like 5 minutes, like I gotta get out of here, dude.
I could tell you this as someone who frequents the Mount Tabor dance community. When they had done a rave inside at some venue, like off of like I think it was like Grand and Stark or something, totally not the vibe. Like it wasn't even like some fun like warehouse in Berlin type thing, which I have been to. It was very much it just was damp, wet, and I was ready to go. That's really all I could tell you. It was not a great time.
Damn, wet, and ready to go, just like the Pope. Let's get into it. All right. So last week on part 1 of the OJ Simpson story. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, it's perfect. We discussed his early life, his football career, the violence in his personal life, the murders of Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman, and then the famous Bronco chase. Now, we're going to look at the trial and everything that follows it, because this case and trial was truly trial of the century. Now, if you remember from last week, we discussed the brutal murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. During the investigation, it was discovered that a glove was not only discovered at the crime scene, but also at OJ's estate. A key piece of evidence which will be a major point of contention throughout the case. The prosecution opens his case by calling LAPD 911 dispatcher Sharon Gilbert, playing a 911 call from Brown on January 1st, 1989, in which she expressed fear that Simpson would physically harm her. That's what we talked about last week, right? She was always saying that OJ was threatening to kill her, and OJ even said to her friends he was going to kill her. And Simpson is even heard in the background yelling at her and possibly hitting her as well. The officer responds to the call. Detective John Edwards testified that when he arrived, a severely beaten Nicole Brown ran from the bushes where she was hiding, screaming, "He's going to kill me. He's going to kill me." Referring to OJ, of course. Pictures of Nicole's face from that night were shown to the jury and confirmed his testimony. That incident led to OJ's arrest and eventual pleading to no contest to one count of domestic violence, for which he received probation for 1 year. We talked about that last week, right? You guys remember last week, right?
Yeah.
You're not just watching part 2 of the OJ story, right? You just want to hear about the trial? Good on you. So, LAPD officer and longtime friend of both OJ and Nicole, Ron Shipp, testified on February 1st, 1995, that OJ told him that the day after the murders that he did not want to take a polygraph test offered to him by the police because, quote, "I've had a lot of dreams about killing her. I really don't know about taking that thing," which is not something you tell a police officer when you're being questioned about the double homicide.
No.
Yeah, no, that just reeks of a problem.
Definitely don't do that.
Yeah, not right.
The jury dismissed Shipp's claims after defense attorney Carl E. Douglas accused him of being an alcoholic and testifying against OJ to promote his acting career, which is a fucking most LA sentence I've ever read.
Yeah, that's definitely some LA power move type stuff right there.
Not only are you a drunk, but you're trying to be an actor. Get out of here. It's like, okay. So, first piece of testimony, like, right out the fucking door. That's gone. The prosecution then called Nicole's sister to the stand, Denise Brown, to the witness stand. She testified to many episodes of domestic violence in the 1980s, which she saw OJ physically abuse Nicole and throw her out of the house during an argument. She said that OJ was agitated with Brown on June 12th, which was the few days before I think it was the day of the murder, a few days before the murder. I don't have my timeline on here. I should. But I don't have my laptop because I'm an idiot. Although a home videotape taken immediately after the dance recital, yes, showed a cheerful Simpson given a kiss by Denise Brown. Kato Kalin corroborated the claim that OJ was, quote, upset with Nicole because of the black dress she wore and said that it was too tight.
Ooh, too taut.
Yes. So the prosecution planned to present 62 separate incidents of domestic violence, including 3 previously unknown incidents Nicole had documented in several letters she had written and placed in the bank's safety deposit box. Remember we were talking about she had been writing down and sending emails of all these things?
Yeah.
62 separate domestic violence incidents.
I think that's a plea for help. I think so.
Yes. So Judge Ito denied the defense's motion to suppress incidents of domestic violence, but only allowed witnesses' accounts to be presented to the jury because of OJ's Sixth Amendment rights. Nicole's statements to friends and family were ruled inadmissible as hearsay because Nicole was dead and unable to be cross-examined. Despite this, the prosecution had witnesses for 44 separate incidents they planned to present to the jury.
Yikes.
That's a bit much.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was looking up what the Sixth Amendment was over
What
here.
is the Sixth Amendment?
The Sixth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution guarantees the rights of criminal defendants in federal and state courts, ensuring the integrity and fairness of the justice system. Ratified in 1791 as part of the Bill of Rights, it establishes protections against government overreach. That just seems like an inflammatory statement nowadays, because it seems like every day that seems to be the case. But, nobody's really raising the alarm. I guess it's just another day in the office.
Yeah. Oh, Bill, how was America 250? How was the state?
Did you have fun? Were you one of the tens of people?
Well, I was definitely one of one black people there. But otherwise, it was a great time.
Did you have a really fun time standing in line for the Ferris wheel that wasn't running?
I spent more of that time just imagining what was rolling, just like all the ideas that roll around in my head. I spent a fair amount of time thinking about that.
How was the Hibachi Express?
The Hibachi Express.
Only Hibachi Express, nothing else.
Well, all I can tell you is I've had teriyaki chicken, and I won't remember the chicken I had there.
Did we ever figure out what was happening in Arizona?
No, apparently, you were there. In the Arizona tent, there was just a line of people out the door. Same for Florida, too. What
was going on in the Arizona and Florida tent, Bill?
Well, what I can tell you is that there was... I'm literally choking. I might die because of how important what happened there. Well, I can tell you, you spend a lot of time out in the sun. Your skin can get a little bit leathery, and I heard that there was excellent service in there. There were rumors that there were lot lizards, but I can say that the best thing to do is to just keep on trucking.
Were there lot lizards in the Florida or the Arizona one?
Both of them. Both of them.
That sounds right. Yeah,
Stopping points for all of the hardworking men keeping commerce alive in this great country.
It was just male prostitutes, sex workers.
I mean, you can find just about anything. I mean, you go to an RNC convention and you'll get a lot of action on Grindr. That's a fact.
Grindr does usually go down when there's
that is technically true. It has been a bit this entire time. That is a true thing.
Yeah, fucking.
Also, I have to do this. Hey, good to see you. Did you see that? Never mind. We'll talk about it later. Never mind.
Good to see you.
Never mind. Anyway, so they had the 44 that they want to present to the jury, separate incidents, right? However, the prosecution dropped the domestic violence portion of their case on June 20th, 1995. Marcia Clark stated it was because they believed the DNA evidence against OJ was insurmountable. But the media speculated it was because of the comments made by the dismissed juror, Jeanette Harris. Christopher Darden later confirmed that to be true. Harris was dismissed on April 6th because she failed to disclose that she was a victim of domestic violence from her ex-husband. So that would sway her one way or another, right?
Yeah.
Afterwards, she gave an interview in which she said the evidence of OJ's abuse of Nicole, quote, doesn't mean he's guilty of murder. This dismissal of OJ's abusive behavior from a female juror who was also a victim of such abuse by her own husband convinced the prosecution that the jury was not receptive to the domestic violence argument.
Ooh.
Doesn't compute to me.
Yeah.
No.
After the verdict, the jurors called the domestic violence portion of the case a waste of time. Shapiro, everybody knows Shapiro, which is one of the Dream Team members.
Yeah.
And then Dershowitz and Ullman later admitted they believed that that race played a factor in the jurors' dismissal of Nicole's abuse by OJ. And you'll actually see that time and time again. That's like one of those things that makes this case very complex. Is that this isn't a typical, I should say, typical cut and dry murder case where like you just go like, here's the facts, you know, and like that's it, and then like maybe there's some back and forth of like, you look at like fucking, I don't know, Bundy or somebody. Not even Bundy, because Bundy has swayed the fucking judge. Dahmer, right?
Yeah.
Richard Ramirez. Let's do Richard Ramirez. Like Richard Ramirez, he's coming in, he's playing a character, he's showing the pentagram in his hand. He's like, he's being the devil incarnate, you know?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, man, that's fucking scary. Scary guy. But everybody's looking at OJ and they're like, it's the fucking juice, man. You know, like, love the juice.
Yeah.
And I'll get into it a little bit later on, but this is a 99, right?
Yeah.
This is a very turbulent time in the United States.
Yeah.
Like, where we are now is a very turbulent time in the United States for completely different reasons, political reasons. Back then, it was due to racial reasons, especially in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can anybody think of a thing that happened in the 90s?
Rodney King.
Yeah, I'll do a whole thing on that later on. There's a couple paragraphs regarding that for our listeners who aren't from the United States, because I know that actually a vast majority of listeners aren't from the United States, which I say, good day to you. My hat's backwards. Good day to you. It was on the other side. So the defense retained reowned advocate for victims of domestic abuse, Leonore Walker. Lawyer Cochran said that she would testify that OJ does not fit the profile of an abuser that would murder his spouse, which is fucking insane to me. The guy was like, he goes, I'm gonna kill her. I'm gonna kill her. I'm gonna kill her. And then they're like, I don't think he's gonna kill her. You know,
I just don't think he has it in him.
No, I'm gonna do it. And they're like, I just don't think he could do it. It's like, what? Fucking, you know, it's like, come on, guys. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? You know, every jury, every like court system needs a guy just like that. You go like, are we fucking stupid? Like, what are you guys doing?
Yes.
What are we doing?
I've many times given thought to the idea of there should be the obvious tort law, and there should be common sense law too, where it's like we look into the qualifications of you as a person to then make the determination of whether or not you're capable. Me, I have a college degree. I can't get away by being stupid. And I would think you as a jury should hold me to that level because you know this information about me. Now, obviously, that might lead to some sway here and there, but it's like common sense should dictate at a base level to keep people safe so that they're not just having the wool brought over their eyes.
I'm just gonna be Bill's lawyer and be like, Bill, listen, Bill, you paying attention? Listen.
Yes,
okay.
I am.
Listen, the jury thinks that you did all those murders. All right, the jury thinks you did that, and listen, they're you really want to push. I'm smart, and I have this college degree angle. I don't think you should do it. I think you should go with the I'm a little guy angle. Have you considered just going with I'm a little guy?
I'm just a little guy.
See?
I'm just a little guy.
Judge, motion dismissed. My client's a little guy. Judge?
No, never mind that I'm 6'3".
You know what?
There are people who are 8 feet tall. I'm a little guy.
You're selling too much.
Shut the fuck up right now, Bill.
Bill,
Shut up.
Bill, you're selling too much. You're just a little guy.
I'm just a little guy.
Judge Graves,
Yes.
motion dismiss.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We did it! He fucking
Hey!
all of them. Dude, he showed me his face collection.
I have a lot of faces. I collect them like I collect Skittles. Taste the rainbow.
As long as I get my retainer. So, naturally, the fact that Lenore Walker was like, we're going to just testify that he doesn't fit, you know, there's no way he could have done that. He just doesn't have the profile to do it. The colleagues were appalled by her decision to defend OJ and accused her of betraying her advocacy for a $250,000 retainer. Yep. Well, Lenore was ended up being dropped as a witness list for quote tactical reasons after she submitted her report on the case. In it, she opinions that the statistic from Dershowitz that of the 2 million incidents of abuse per year, only 2,000 victims are actually murdered by their spouse, as being misled because Nicole was already dead. This relevant statistic was, quote, of the murdered spouses who were also victims of abuse, while a percentage of them were murdered by their current or ex-husband. When she reported that number, it was 80.3%. They dropped her from the witness list.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So does everyone understand what I just said? That 80.3% of the 2,000 victims that were murdered by, of the millions of incidents, only 2,000 victims were actually murdered by their spouses, and about 80.3% of those were actually from their actual spouses. It's always the husband. What do we always say when we watch Friends Files?
It's always the husband.
It's always the husband.
Yeah, that's
It's
pretty
always the
alarming.
husband, or it's the wife and her affair
Lover.
partner. Yeah.
Wow.
I love Forensic Files. Speaking of forensics, the prosecution presented a total of 108 exhibits, including 61 drops of blood, of DNA evidence linked to link OJ to the murders. With no witnesses to the crime, the prosecution was dependent on DNA as the only physical evidence linking OJ to the scene. The volume of DNA evidence in this case was unique, and the prosecution believed they could reconstruct how the crime was committed with enough accuracy to resemble an eyewitness account. That's how much fucking DNA is here. It's a lot.
Yeah, that's
He might as well just held a giant neon sign over his head and said, I did this. And they would have been like, I don't know.
I don't know that he did that.
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah. So Marcia Clark stated in her opening statements that there was, quote, trail of blood from the Bundy crime scene through OJ's Ford Bronco to his bedroom at Rockingham. It's a lot of blood. Mm-hmm. Blood is everywhere. It's everywhere. Right? Mm-hmm. We talked about last week. The brutality of the murder.
Yeah.
He damn near cut that lady. He allegedly, let me just say allegedly, he allegedly cut that lady's head off. Almost.
Yeah.
So, Simpson's DNA found on blood drops next to the bloody footprints near the victims at the crime scene. The prosecution stated that the probability of error was, ready? The probability of error was 1 in, guess.
1 million?
1 million.
I'm going to say 2 million.
The probability of error was 1 in 9.7 billion.
Oh, that's more people than on the earth.
That is correct, Bill.
Wow.
I was closer.
yes, you were. I'm still astounded because I want to wait. I want to wait because I know how this went, but when I sit here and I think about this, I'm not going to lose, any credibility in the black community if I say what I'm about to say, which is everything that you have heard up until this point would sway you to probably convict OJ. And the fact that did not happen, if it was not motivated by somebody having a heavy hand on the scale, it is astounding, because if it was me, I know my ass would have been sent to jail and fried, and that's a fact.
I will briefly talk about it later on. I guess I can bring it up now that you say that. Is that during the trial, they interviewed both residents of Los Angeles, and they targeted white, Hispanic, and the black community. And in the black communities, they would actually said that they believed him to be innocent more so.
Yes.
And then the white community the Hispanic community, they believed him to be guilty. And you'll actually see later on, there's a whole another trial after this, a series of trials after this.
Yeah.
Where the scales start to just kind of even out again. Yeah, and everybody's like, I guess we're wrong. So there was more DNA found on the trail of blood drops leading away from the victims towards and on the back of the gate of the crime scene that was also OJ's. The prosecution stated that the probability of error was 1 in 200. It's a lot lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there was 3 different blood types in there.
Yeah.
So in that was OJ, Ron Goldman's, and Nicole Brown's DNA found on blood on the outside of the door and inside of OJ's Bronco. So all their blood's found in there. And remember we talked about how when people were stabbing, they often cut their fingers?
Yes.
That's probably why there's blood everywhere. The prosecution stated that the probability of error was 1 in, guess how much?
25 billion.
That's a great guess.
8 million.
That's a terrible guess. So with the blood found inside the Bronco, the combination of Simpson, Goldman, and Brown, the probability of error of it not being them was 1 in 21 billion.
Oh, wow. Again,
it was either going to be really high or really low. So,
so it's definitely their blood. So this keeps going.
Yeah.
OJ's blood is found on the doors leading from the area where his Bronco was parked at his Rockingham home to the front door entrance. And OJ, Nicole, and Ron's DNA on a bloody glove was found behind his home. The glove don't fit, you must have quit. You know, that one?
Yeah.
The blood that's on it? Yeah, that was found outside his home. And OJ and Nicole's DNA found on blood on a pair of socks in OJ's bedroom during a search. Let me clarify, during a search, because there's a whole fucking other problem with that I'll get to. The prosecution stated that the probability of error was 1 in 6.8 billion.
Oh.
Wow. This is it.
Can you see why they kind of dropped the domestic violence angle?
Yeah.
They're like, here's all this evidence. Like, hard evidence. Hard evidence.
Yeah.
Not soft evidence. All right? You guys paying attention? So you're looking at you. I'm looking at you.
He's looking right
Give
at
me a
me.
big old kiss. So the FBI and the LAPD did a fiber hair fiber examination on the gloves. The fibers from the gloves found in OJ's home were microscopically similar to the one found at the crime scene. Both of the victims, the 2 gloves, and the blue knit cap worn by the killer had the hair consistent with OJ. The hair in the blue knit cap worn by the killer was embedded in the seams, indicating it was there from being worn repeatedly. Dark cotton blue clothing fibers were found on both victims, right? Because this shit is fucking magic to me, I swear.
Yeah.
The video from the dance recital that OJ had attended earlier in the night shows him wearing a similarly colored shirt. Like, I mean, it's one thing after another. Kato Kalin testified that OJ was still wearing that shirt when they got home from McDonald's, but not anymore when he answered the door for his limousine driver. It switched shirts out.
I'm loving it.
The police searched his home. The shirt was never found because it was probably thrown away in LAX.
Yep.
The murder weapon, right? Speculated, I should say. This supported the prosecution's theory that the assailant killed Nicole first, then Ron Goldman, and afterwards returned to Nicole to cut her throat. The hair consistent with Nicole that was found in the Rockingham glove was torn, which also supports the prosecution that the killer grabbed Brown by her hair, then cut her throat, which is what the physical evidence shows from her murder. There's fibers found inside the Ford. I could go on and on and on. And also, I should mention, remember the dog, her Akita, that she had?
Yes.
Right? It says that the glove that was found at OJ Simpson's home that belonged to the murderer and had hair and clothing fibers consistent with OJ Simpson, Nicole Brown, and Rod Goldman, as well as fibers from a 1993 to 1994 Ford Bronco and that of Nicole Brown Simpson's Akita dog. Is that enough physical evidence for everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to point something out. I know that there's a lab in California that is well known for doing DNA sequencing of pets.
Yes.
Because they've solved a number of murders through that lab because somebody had a cat. I have cat hairs on me. If one of those was found at a crime scene, I'd be fucked. I love Pumpkin. I love Pilka. I love both of them. But they would fucking screw me over because
They are your downfall.
They are my downfall, and
They
I
are
love
your
them.
Achilles heel.
Yes. They are my. God, I can't think of an A word for a cat. I guess assholes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can think of one.
I can think of at least one. So, with all that, the prosecution decides to bring in FBI shoe print expert. That is a real title. William J. Bodziak, who testified that the bloody shoe prints found at the crime scene and inside OJ's Bronco were made from a rare and expensive pair of Bruno Magli Italian shoes. He determines the shoe size were a size 12, which happened to be the same size that OJ wore, and only were sold at Bloomingdale's. Only 299 pairs of that size were sold in the U.S., and one of them was sold at the same store that OJ often buys his shoes from. Agent Bodziak also testified that despite 2 sets of footprints at the crime scene, only one attacker was present because they were all made by the same shoes. That's when he killed one, killed the other, and then came back to slit her throat, right? During cross-examination, the defense suggested the murderer deliberately wore shoes that were the wrong size, to which the Agent Bodziak dismissed it as ridiculous, because it is ridiculous. You're fucking stupid. It's the dumbest argument I've ever heard. Well, you think it was maybe wearing different kind of pair of shoes? No, I don't think so. That doesn't make any sense. Do you carry 2 pairs of shoes everywhere you go? Anybody?
No, I don't.
Great. Yeah, it's to me, if I just gave you this in a file, everything I just gave to you, guilty, not guilty? Anybody?
Yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah. I don't know yet.
I'm not quite convinced.
I'm not exactly sure.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, take a look at this video of OJ Simpson brutally murdering this woman. Are you convinced yet?
I use the same AI to make my cats talk to me. My cats aren't. They don't speak. They don't talk in words.
Real shit. In China, they literally are working on an AI that allows you to decipher what animals are talking about.
I don't want it.
I don't really want it either, because I know my cat's being annoying. It's like, why haven't you changed my fucking litter box?
Food.
Why are
Food.
you why
Dad.
Why have you not fed me?
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Dad.
Why are you in the bathroom by yourself? Like
Are you pooping? It's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We have 2 cats, Bruiser and Killdozer. Yes. And Bruiser has found that, he's found this out over the years, that if he puts enough body weight behind it, he can kick open the bathroom door.
Ooh.
It's his favorite thing to do.
Which is the most annoying thing I've ever experienced.
Leave me the fuck alone.
Because he'll be like, he'll stand outside the door. You can hear him like fucking scurrying around out there, and you're like, oh, he's just being a little pervert. And then all of a sudden, just like, And then he just stands there and you're just like,
You want to know the worst thing? Found out he's taught Dozer how to do it.
of course.
Oh.
Found that out.
Are you pooping?
I was peeing and
At least he doesn't.
opens the door and there's fucking Dozer.
At least he doesn't do the thing that Dozer does. We call him Dozer, Kill Dozer, and Marvin Kill Dozer Heemeyer, and he'll do this thing where that's his name. He likes to stand on the toilet seat.
Yeah.
And just as I'm trying to piss.
Oh.
And he just like watches, and I have to like fucking pinch it off and like pick him up.
Oh, man.
Hold him in the air.
Yeah.
Like I'm the Statue of Liberty. You know?
Oh, dude. Freedom.
I don't have that problem.
It's the worst.
No, he
Have you tried pissing standing up?
no, I don't have to. But
Get you a shiwi.
yeah, no, fucking Dozer is now pushing open the door.
Yeah.
But his favorite thing is to try and climb into your lap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have 0.3 seconds before he's in your lap.
Oh, yep.
So, anyway, continuing on. OJ denied that he ever bought the shoes, and there was only circumstantial evidence he did. When they questioned Samuel Poser, who was an employee of Bloomingdale's, he was like, I remember showing OJ the shoes, but I don't recall if he ever bought them. There's no record of him ever buying them. Could have bought with cash. I don't fucking know. Who knows?
Oh.
Yeah.
Although the prosecution could not prove that OJ owned a pair of those shoes, Agent Bodziak testified that a similar bloody shoe print was left on the floor inside of the Bronco. And the defense suggested that Officer Furman broke into the Bronco and left the footprint there, which we'll talk about very shortly.
Ooh.
Officer Furman is a big point of contention in this case, and I believe he is one of the main reasons why OJ was never convicted of his crimes. Yes. Agent Bodziak admitted that he was not able to confirm that the shoe print in the car definitely came from the Bruno Magli shoe, but dismissed the defense's claim because that none of the shoe prints at the crime scene were made by Officer Furman's boots or shoes that he was wearing or had, making it unlikely he could have made a bloody shoe print in the Bronco. And this part's so fucking stupid. So the defense comes on and says that they bring in their own physician, which is Robert Huzenga, excuse me,
Huzenga.
who's butchering this, who testified that OJ was not physically capable of carrying out the murders due to chronic arthritis and old football injuries. During cross-examination, the prosecution produced an exercise video that OJ had made a few weeks before the murders titled OJ Simpson Minimum Maintenance Fitness for Men, which demonstrated that OJ was anything but frail.
I'm gonna say this: if I had that tape in my collection, I definitely feel like people would be like, "Come on, Bill, you got a thing for OJ, don't you?" Be like, "No, I'm just trying to get fit. I'm trying to get in shape."
I just like the part where he takes his shirt off.
Yeah, I like that. It gives me a goal to work towards. I want to look like OJ.
Yeah, working towards the goal of making you come.
No, I should do the face.
Just the face.
God damn it, bro. Oh my God.
Just the face. It was like that thing I was talking about earlier. It was like, was it Airplane or whatever it was? Where he's like, all of you know I faked every orgasm. So the physician admitted afterwards that OJ could have committed the murders if he was, quote, in the throes of an adrenaline rush. I don't know, dude. You made a fucking workout video, so you tell me. All right? Showing off
in the throes of passion.
Showing off my big ass forehead, don't mind me. So it's fucking... forensic pathologists said that they believe that the murders happened closer to 11. He stated that Nicole was still conscious, standing, and took a step after her throat was cut. And after Ron Goldman's jugular vein was lacerated. He continued to stand and fight with his assailant for 10 minutes. There's like, they're going back and forth. Like the prosecution has insurmountable evidence, and then the defense comes up and they have all these key star witnesses, or at least like, you know, this key people who are like, that didn't happen. And then the prosecution cross-examines and they go, well, that probably did happen. You know, it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's ridiculous. Sorry, this is just fucking stupid.
We all do things in the heat of passion, Jimbo.
Fucking. I mean, Nicole's mother told police and investigators in a sworn statement that she was speaking with her daughter on the telephone at 11 p.m. that evening. Those phone records were sealed. A vat of ice cream was still partially frozen, sitting on the downstairs banister when police searched the open door house around 12:30 on June 13th. The local weather was reported to be 60 degrees Fahrenheit that night, implying that by that time the ice cream should have been completely thawed. She's showing that was incorrect and inconsistent, right? That it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Barry Scheck and Peter Newfield argued that the results from the DNA testing were not reliable because of the police were, quote, sloppy in collecting and preserving it from the crime scene. Detectives admitted to making several mistakes during evidence collection, which included not always changing gloves between handling evidence items, packaging, and storing of the evidence items in using plastic bags rather than paper bags as recommended, and storing evidence in a police van, which was not refrigerated up to 7 hours after collection. Things that you don't fucking do. Well, they for some reason decided to do it. With all this, the defense argued would allow bacteria to degrade the DNA and thus make samples more susceptible to cross-examination in the crime lab once it arrived. It's fucking ridiculous. So I could keep going. There's more and more stuff about them botching evidence, and even though they had insurmountable amounts of evidence, but you could argue that it was botched. Ridiculous. But before the trial even began, it was discovered that the police investigation had been flawed. Quote, photo evidence had been lost or mislabeled. DNA evidence, like I said, collected and stored improperly, raising possibility that it was tainted. The defense attempted to dismiss the evidence. Prosecutors provided DNA evidence, including both victims, blood in OJ's car, Nicole's blood being found, socks and hair, clothing fibers. We went through all of this, right?
Yeah.
The fucking glove. The glove.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. It's at the crime scene and his house. Come on, And the blood's like in the Bronco. It's, never mind. But for those of you, or for those of us who know the trial, and the glove, quote, didn't fit during the trial, right? It has been theorized by the prosecution that OJ was directed by his defense team to stop taking his anti-inflammatory medications for his arthritis, which in turn would cause his hands to swell if he attempted to put on the glove. You ever seen the video of him putting on the glove?
Yeah.
And he's like trying to put it on. He's kind of having a hard time, and he's like holds up his hand, and it's like not on, His fucking hands are swollen. Even though that the LA County Jail confirmed that he had been giving his medications, everyone was pretty skeptical. Right? Because
you know how many people get their medications but don't take said medications?
Yeah.
That's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
it's also not one of those things where it's like because they're giving it to, it's not like a fucking opioid.
Yeah.
It's arthritis medication. They probably don't give two shits. They're like, here you go.
Yeah. I mean,
they're not checking to make sure they fucking took
swallow your arthritis medication. That's gonna be a big port. Like nobody knows that.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But like I said, the trial wasn't only doomed from the start from the obvious miscarriage of evidence. See, around the time of this trial, the LAPD and surrounding justices didn't have the best track record for being on the straight and narrow. We talked about that briefly. In 1991, 15-year-old Letitia Harlins was shot in the head by a store owner, Soon Ja Du, who only received probation following his conviction of voluntary manslaughter after it was accused that the 15-year-old stole a bottle of orange juice from a store and he shot her in the fucking head.
Damn.
Yes. And they were like, probation. Boom, for 1 year. And in 1991 was the beating of Rodney King. For those of you who are somehow unaware of the Rodney King story, allow me to give you a quick run through, because I know just the premise of the story, and I read the whole story today, and it's fucking even more insane than I thought.
Yeah.
Because it's insane to begin with.
Yeah.
So, Rodney had been out with some friends, and they had been drinking, and this is his testimony. They had been out drinking. He was on probation at the time, right? And according to Mr. King, LAPD attempted to stop him. He was under the influence and decided not to stop because he didn't want to violate his probation, right? Which is running from LAPD is also not helpful. He continued to flee. He eventually was being orbited by like Air One, and all these surrounding agencies are getting involved. He eventually stops. Mr. King and his passengers, they exit the vehicle. He gets out, he points up to Air One, and he's like kind of pointing at the helicopters, kind of fucking around a little bit. You know, he's intoxicated.
Yeah.
You know, so he's fucking around. And these cops jump on him and start beating the fuck out of him.
Yes.
They beat the fuck out of him. They kicked him in the head, beat him with batons, he punched him repeatedly until medical intervention was needed. At one point, he is being beat with batons, and one of the officers comes up and goes, stop, 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 stop. Like, he's done. And he goes to sit back up, and then they continue to beat him. And that's where a lot of the footage comes from. Like that famous footage, right? Which thankfully comes from George Holliday, who was an amateur videographer who filmed the entire incident and gave it to the news, who then later interviewed Mr. King. He just happened to just be there and was like, oh, get this on video. And it fucking blew up, right? So the LAPD officers were arrested and being, to be charged with police brutality and assault and battery and all this stuff. And they were acquitted.
Yes.
They were acquitted. And that pissed a lot of people off. So much so that there was fucking untold amount of riots in LA.
Yes.
Sparking a whole other side of police brutality and chaos. Have you ever heard some of the stories from the police during the LA riots?
I mean,
because they're fucking insane.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as far as some of the standout moments from that time, the National Guard was called in. There were curfews. There were the famous K-Town guys that were up there defending their shop, and then there was the stories of the people who had to actually live through it, where it was probably comparable to some of the worst stories of being in mainly Fallujah.
Yeah.
Many people compared it to that. And that has and that has the added psychological effect of the fact that this is your homeland, this is where you live, and you lose your sense of safety and calm when it falls into complete disorder at that point.
Yeah, I didn't even really bring up some of the injuries that his passengers had, but they split their heads open and cut their fucking heads open on cars, smashed their heads against the hood of vehicles.
Yeah.
Right. And with the riots that followed after that, I've heard numerous interviews with people who were LAPD at the time of that, and guys who were new, and they were talking about how they were getting, because in modern day America, officer-involved shootings are relatively rare, right? Relatively rare. They happen every day, but you also got to look at grand scheme of how many shootings there are in the U.S. today that are not officer-involved shooting. We just had a shooting fucking last week, a block away, and during the LA riots, there were stories about how they were getting into officer-involved shootings multiple times a night
Yeah, that's pretty
a
bad.
night. It was getting so bad that like whoever was out there fucking, there were people looting or like, because there was also that there was no cops. Because cops are trying to stop people from fucking burning shit down and doing whatever. So like gang members are going like, well, now we got time. They're going smoking fucking rival gangs. Like people were just killing people because they're like, well, hide in the chaos. And there was a story that I can think of off the top of my head where it was an officer who was out there and he was like, they would get into a shooting. Like they would shoot somebody, right? Who was shooting at them or whatever's happening, right? They would just call the command and be like, shots fired at, Laurelhurst and Van Nuys. Like, all right, keep going. And they just go to the next call.
I think I remember actually hearing you tell me that.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. Or how like talking about like in Cape Town, there's a story about how like one of the cops, like they were hunkered down in a police station and they were fucking like going full castle like doctrine, like just blowing fucking holes out of the police station. Defending, like they're just taking heavy amounts of gunfire. They eventually leave. They're driving through K-Town, and he said like there was like 20 dudes up on a roof with like rifles and Uzis and shit.
Yes.
And they just stopped their Crown Vic, put it in reverse, and fucking went backwards. And we're like, fuck that, not going that way.
Yeah.
And then they just heard like automatic gunfire in the distance, and they're like, nope, we got pistols, dude. We're good. We're out of here.
It is never a good idea to get into a confrontation with a bunch of armed military veterans that were drafted.
Yep.
Never a good idea.
Yeah, everybody's gangster to the rooftop, start speaking Korean. You know what I mean? So, with all that in mind, OJ's defense alleged that the crime scene had been compromised and presented an audio tape recordings of Officer Mark Furman, we talked about, right? Who was at the scene and collected evidence. Officer Furman repeatedly, and I had to censor this because there's quotes. I censored the quotes. I got rid of them. But let's just say he used a lot of racial slurs during the collection of evidence and during an interview with an aspiring screenwriter.
Wow.
Which is like... So Officer Furman was later charged with perjury because he was like, I didn't say that word over and over again. You know what word it is. And he said it a lot. And he's like, I didn't say that. And then they played their audio recordings of him saying it over and over again. And then he's like, whatever, I plead no contest to perjury.
That makes Dave Chappelle's skit on his show hit that much harder.
Oh my, yeah. So it obviously sways public opinion a lot more.
Yeah.
Because now it's not so much like, did OJ do it? Did he not do it? There's all this weird evidence. And they were like, those cops are fucking racist and we hate the LAPD. And they're saying that he might have planted the evidence. It was a good move by the defense.
Yeah.
And that cop's a fucking idiot. Fucking racist, dumbass cop. Anyway, the trial was more than just a murder trial, as it was a sign of cultural divide in the United States. One side believed in Simpson's guilt, and the other side believed in his innocence. We talked about that, right?
Yeah.
But the majority of them believed OJ was being set up by the police, taking into consideration LAPD's history of corruption, the acquittal of Rodney King, the officers who acquitted of Rodney King's beating, and that of Officer Mark Furman, who found the bloody glove at OJ's home. And remember I said they searched the home?
Yes.
They searched the home without a warrant.
Oh, buddy.
Yep.
That's definitely Fourth Amendment issues because of search and seizure.
Yeah. Yep. There's a reason that we have these laws, right? And there's a reason these laws work. It's supposed to help, especially that.
Yeah.
It's for the for the everyday American, especially, and my opinion is OJ obviously did this, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Say OJ didn't do this, allegedly, or unallegedly, whatever. You know what I mean? It like words, and say this is a huge misunderstanding.
Yes.
Right. And then they go in there and they find all the shit, and maybe it was planted, right? And they're like, well, it's fucking planted. Here you go.
Yeah.
But and you know what? You don't have that amendment. You just get charged with it. It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look how many times that's happened in the U.S. over the years. A fucking prime example we talked about on the show, West Memphis 3.
Yeah.
It was just 3 kids who lied to heavy metal. And they charged them with murder and put one on death row for 20 years. And then they go 20 years later, they go, sign this document. You'll still be guilty, but we're going to let you out.
Wild.
Actually.
Fucking bizarre. So the defense went as far to claim that Officer Mark Furman had planted the glove on the scene, quote, on the evidence that they gave me to evaluate, it was crooked by the cops. Juror David Alanda said in an interview, quote, the evidence given to me to look at, I could not convict. Did he do it? Maybe, maybe not. Juror Sheila Woods denied the jury's decision was biased on race in an interview. When asked if she believed OJ was framed, she simply stated, quote, I don't know if he was necessarily framed. I think OJ may know something about what happened, but I just don't think he did it. I think it was more than one person just because of the way she was killed. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
No.
Seems like one guy can definitely do that. One guy can definitely kill 2 people, especially if he was a, I don't know, NFL All-Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. He's got that
Retired
juice in him.
NFL All-Star, but he's still, he was still played, in the NFL. He's still gigantic.
Yeah.
He's fucking gigantic.
He's not a little guy.
No.
He is not a little guy in the fucking slightest. Even more jurors came out after OJ's death. Like Yolanda Adams said, she was still comfortable with the decision rendered to render a not guilty verdict, and denied the verdict was based on payback for Rodney King, citing the reasonable doubt in the case presented by the defense and the actions of the police officers involved in the case, such as Officer Mark Furman, you fucking piece of shit cuck, presented. He's such a cuck, dude. Pleading the fifth when he was asked if he planted or manufactured any evidence against OJ, which you can't fucking do, by the way. You're not allowed to do that as a police officer. You're not allowed to do that. That is not a thing you're allowed to do as a police officer.
Yeah, that is kind of like, I could understand potentially if it became a civil issue, you could do something like that. But in terms of like criminal tort law, if you're the person who is expected to enforce and carry out the law, you can't try to hide behind it to absolve yourself from the actions you do in enforcing the law.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what the laws were in 1999, mainly because I was like, I don't know, this many.
3.
Yeah, but you can't, like, that's like super against. That's against the rules, buddy. Like,
Hey, play fair.
Hey, play fair. It's not fair. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Like when if you were a police officer and I'm cross-examining you for something, and I ask you a question and I go like, I don't know, for example, like, you saw Miss Graves driving down the road. You said at an accelerated amount of speed, and you stopped her because of her speed. Did you use a radar in order to get that speed?
I'm going to have to plead the fifth.
Can't do that.
Can't do it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like, like your job is to go, it's yes or no. Mm-hmm. There was no fucking gray line. Your job is law enforcement.
Yes.
Your job is to be the, you have to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? You have to be more. I can fucking hear that. You can't just like snake your fucking way through it.
No, you can't.
It doesn't make any sense. So 11 months after the trial began, and 128 witnesses, 1,105 items of evidence, 45,000 pages of transcripts, it took the jury just 3 hours to return with a verdict of not guilty.
Wow.
Following that, OJ was released from the LA County Jail after 474 days in custody.
Wow.
It's not that many days in the grand scheme of things.
Nope.
No.
So, following OJ's acquittal, no additional arrests or convictions related to the murders were made. He maintained his innocence in subsequent media interviews. In May of 2008, OJ's associate, Mike Gilbert, claimed that OJ had admitted to his role as the murderer, saying he used the knife that Nicole was holding when she opened the door to her condo's door for him that night, and he had stopped taking his arthritis medication so his hands would swell in court.
Okay.
Fucking bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, they were like, oh, well, he fucking would have been taking his old medications. Bullshit. In his 2008 book, How I Helped OJ Get Away with Murder, which is a fun name, and a 2025 docuseries, OJ's former sports agent, Mike Gilbert, the guy we just talked about, revealed that he once asked OJ what really happened with Nicole, telling OJ that he had always suspected Simpson was guilty. He responded, quote, if Nicole wouldn't have opened the door with a knife, she would still be alive.
That's very damning.
Yep. OJ's then lawyer, Yale Gallanter, said, quote, none of that's true, and that Gilbert is a, quote, delusional drug addict who needs the money.
I mean, that could be true. I don't know.
Money?
Two things can be true at the same time.
It's true.
The power of truth. Peace.
Yeah. Gallanter refused to allow OJ to comment directly to Gilbert because of his later robbery trial, which I'll get to. So, yeah, it's fucking insane. So he kind of like fades a little bit, right? For like, a year or two. And then in February 2001, OJ was arrested in Miami-Dade County, Florida, for simple battery and burglary of an occupied conveyance for pulling the glasses off another motorist during a traffic dispute 3 months earlier. If convicted, OJ could have spent up to 16 years in prison, but he was tried and quickly acquitted of both charges in October. In December of 2001, OJ's Florida home was searched by the FBI on suspicion that he was possessing MDMA or engaging in money laundering. They had received a tip that he was part of a major drug trafficking ring the agency was investigating. The investigation had thus far led to the arrest of 10 suspects. The home was thoroughly searched for 2 hours and no illegal drugs were found. Afterwards, OJ was not charged in relation to the drug trafficking investigation. However, the FBI did find equipment that allowed for pirating of satellite radio signals broadcast by satellite television network DirecTV, hypothetically giving a TV set owned by OJ free access to radio frequencies of the cable TV channels and only legally offered by DirecTV through a paid subscription. They fucking got his ass.
Bro.
You're watching TV for free, are ya?
This man has how much money, and he's pirating DirecTV?
How do you think he got that money? It's by finding ways to squeeze out as much juice as you can. No, I was gonna say it's just like
I don't get
it's just like Al Capone. They couldn't get him the way that they did, so they got him on taxes. It's like student loans. They will come after you for anything that has to do with money, because that's the way to do it.
Yeah,
$40 a month was far too much for DirecTV.
Well,
I mean, if this was like early 2000s, $40 for that is too much for money.
oh, believe me,
I don't even know how much live TV is anymore. I don't have live TV.
They don't have cable anymore, so the subscription services replaced it, and it's now actually more expensive.
I had
than
Dish
cable
TV, which is no longer
that
I think got bought out by someone. And so,
Probably AT&T or something.
Let's do another hour on this.
Why not? Why not?
So they got his ass, though.
Yep.
In March of 2004, DirecTV accused OJ and Miami federal court of using illegal electronic devices to pirate its broadcast signals. During the ensuing legal case, it presented court evidence which the FBI had gathered in the search, and in July of 2005, they got that sick fuck. Sorry.
Was he like watching Skinamax? They're like, dude, you're accruing too much money here.
The company won $25,000 and ordered him to pay an additional $33,678 in attorney fees and costs.
Ooh.
That's...
Fucking got his ass.
Was it worth it, OJ? Was it? That's the question we'll ask.
Get him for $50,000.
If the controller don't fit, you must acquit. And they're like, you can't do that again. Can't do that again.
I didn't have any batteries. Doesn't matter, buddy. Can't do it.
Don't have any batteries. It's so funny. Now, Your Honor, Mr. Simpson didn't have any batteries inside of his home. It's like, well, seems good enough for me. So, continuing on.
Dead ass, I believe it.
Because this keeps happening. He keeps getting arrested and getting in trouble.
Yeah.
In July of 2002, OJ was arrested once again in Miami-Dade County, Florida, for water speeding through a manatee protection zone and failing to comply with proper boating regulations.
Fuck that, dude.
You fucking piece of shit, OJ. I fucking knew it.
Save the fucking manatees, bro. You're a monster.
Yeah, they fucking got his ass. They charged him the misdemeanor boating regulation charge. And guess what? It was dropped, and he was asked to pay a fine for speeding.
Yeah,
Taylor's face.
I have to say that when I sit here and think about it, they were just like, man, we let you get away, but we ain't gonna let you get away. We're gonna try and squeeze you for every fucking drop of juice that you got.
Can you do one more juice-related joke?
Oh my God!
Go on.
This isn't a joke. This is a fact. Just go on TikTok. There's all mentions of juice and no mention of where the juice is. I have no idea.
I had a joke in mind that I'm not going to say. So in 2007, California came for fucking OJ. They were like, Florida's getting some, we're getting some. And they were like, hey, you owe us 1.44 million in back taxes, you sick fuck. And a tax lien was filed, and it was kind of not a big deal. See Taylor's face. You see how it keeps happening? You see how it keeps happening over and over again?
Yeah, you know what?
It keeps happening over and over again.
It does, and it makes you feel like in the world in which we live in, there is definitely...
We live in a society.
We do live in a society.
I thought you were gonna do like a Joker impression.
That's exactly what it was.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you know, there are some people who win, and then there are some people who are winning, and I think OJ was winning in one way or another.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of winning,
Oh boy.
biggest place to win in the world, at least in the U.S., Las Vegas, Nevada. And I actually remember this case when this happened. I remember seeing this on TMZ. So on the night of September 13th, 2007, a group of men led by OJ Simpson entered a room at the Palace Station Hotel Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, and took sports memorabilia at gunpoint, which resulted in OJ being questioned by police. OJ admitted to taking the items, which he said had been stolen from him, but denied breaking in the hotel room. He also denied that he or anyone else carried a gun. He was initially questioned and released. 2 days later, he was arrested again. It was initially held without bail. Along with 3 other men, OJ was charged with multiple felony counts, including criminal conspiracy, kidnapping, assault, robbery, and aggravated assault. Bail was set at $125,000, stipulations that OJ have no contact with the co-defendants and that he surrender his passport. Simpson did not enter a plea By the end of October 2007, all three of OJ's co-defendants had plea bargained with the prosecution in Clark County, Nevada court case. Walter Alexander and Charles H. Cashmore accepted plea agreements in exchange for reduced charges and their testimony against OJ and three other co-defendants, including testimony that guns were used in the robbery. A co-defendant told a Las Vegas judge that he would too plead guilty to reduce charges reduce charges and testify against OJ that guns were used in the robbery. After the hearing, the judge ordered that OJ be tried for the robbery. So, in November 8th of 2007, OJ had a preliminary hearing to decide whether or not he would be tried for charges, which held for all 12 fucking counts. He pleaded not guilty, and a trial was set in April 2008. And in January 2008, OJ was taken into custody in Florida and extradited to Las Vegas, where he was incarcerated at the Clark County Jail for violating terms of his bail and attempting to contact his co-defendants. Remember, you're not allowed to do that. But he did it anyway. It's like, don't tell mom. Don't tell him. don't tell mom what we did. So, they had raised raising his bail, do all the stuff that he had violated, right? Mm-hmm. They raised his bail to $250,000 in order to remain in custody of the jail until 15% was paid in cash. OJ posted bond and returned to Miami the next day. So, the trial begins on September 8th, 2008 in the court of Nevada District Court Judge Jackie Glass, which was it was a bit contentious, I would say, giving his OJ's previous because OJ's jury was definitely confided of a lot of like different races and people. Mm-hmm. It was an all-white jury. Yeah. Which the defense happened to notice. On October 10th, OJ's counsel moved for a new trial on grounds of judicial errors and insufficient evidence. And OJ's attorney announced he would appeal to Nevada Supreme Court if Judge Glass denied the motion. And his co-defendants, C.J. Stewart, petitioned for a new trial, alleging that Simpson should have been tried separately and cited possibly by misconduct by the jury foreman. So Simpson faced possibility of life sentence with parole on the kidnapping charge and mandatory prison time for armed robbery. Mm-hmm. And on December 5th, 2008, Simpson was sentenced for a total of
3 weeks.
33 years in prison.
Oh!
With a possibility of parole after 90 years in 2017.
That'll do it.
It sounds like they probably, added up all of the near misses and they were like, you're going to get hit.
Yes. So they tried to take it to the Supreme Court and they affirm his convictions. He serves his sentence at the Lovelock Correctional Center, and he worked as a gym janitor there. A Nevada judge agreed in October 2012 to, quote, reopen the armed robbery and kidnapping case against OJ and determine if the former football star was so badly represented by his lawyers that he should be freed from prison and get another trial. At the hearing held in May of 2013 to determine if Simpson was entitled to a new trial, in November, Judge Linda Bell denied OJ's bid for a new trial on the robbery conviction. In a ruling, Bell wrote that OJ's contentions lacked merit. And in 2017, on July 31st, 2013, Nevada Parole Board granted Simpson parole on some convictions, but his imprisonment continued based on the weapons and assault convictions. The board considered Simpson's prior record of criminal convictions and good behavior in prison and coming to the decision. At his parole hearing in July 20th of 2017, the parole board decided to grant OJ's parole with certain parole conditions, such as travel restrictions, non-contact with co-defendants of the robbery, and not drinking excessively. He was released on October 1st, having served almost 9 years. In December 2021, OJ was granted an early discharge from parole by the Nevada Division of Parole and Probation for good behavior because he was a good boy. He then moves back home to Florida, right?
Stay the fuck out of Miami, bro.
He was hanging out in Florida, right? And he was in the same area and would frequent the same bars and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
There is a slight possibility that he met another famous person of who was exonerated in court.
Mm-hmm.
Can anybody guess who that'd be?
This is the person we were talking about earlier.
Maybe.
I mean, I know it wasn't Jeffrey Epstein.
It was not Jeffrey Epstein. Any guesses? Anybody?
Is it? I don't know.
There is a possibility, just due to the area of which he was located,
Sure.
that OJ Simpson may have been drinking at the same bar and may have bumped into or maybe met, has never been confirmed, never been said, Casey Anthony.
Oh.
They were both in Florida, both in the same area. There's a possibility.
Oh my God!
There was a slight possibility that could have happened.
I'm just gonna say it. That is not a snow bunny that I'd want to hop around with. Let me tell you what.
Like, Bill, you're being so fucking rude to me, Bill. Just like, Papa Xanax, Bill. You're like crushing my vibe. Why do you hate me? Why do you hate me, Bill?
I've killed bitches. God damn. I'm so sorry. I killed bitches that wasn't as crazy as you. Get the fuck away from me. Hey, Twitter world.
Yeah, so that's another thing I was about to mention. Following his release, OJ Simpson was a prolific user of Twitter. He fucking loved it. He loved it. He was on there making videos all the time. And if you ever want to have a fun little laugh, just go through X, find his Twitter, and go back and watch him, because he's out there talking about the Menendez brothers. And he's out there just being like, I don't really know that case, but I think they did it. Like, one of my favorites was that, like, he was never going to return to LA because he didn't know if his wife's killer was out there still.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say he is.
I think his wife's killer was in Florida.
Well, I mean,
His ex-wife's killer was in Florida.
if he goes to LA, his wife's killer will be in LA. So
Yes. Yeah. Totally possible.
One of my favorites in the entire world was him going to the Buffalo Bills stadium because he was, his jersey was hung in the rafters. He was fucking beloved.
Yeah.
And so they gave him a box seat, and they're like showing all the celebs, and they're like, and in box number 603 is OJ Simpson, and then like pan up to him, and he's like, what's going on? And they're like juice, like the whole crowd, and like MVP, and he's like filming the video. He's like, hello to the world, and he's like, they're calling me the MVP.
Oh my God.
We should give that should be mandatory.
Yeah.
For like if you're a celebrity of that caliber and you're like, all this shit's happened, you've been to prison, you've done all this crazy, you got away with murder. I was gonna say it, and they should be like, well, here's your phone, here's Twitter, just do nothing but that.
I have an answer for you. It's proven. It's proven. OJ Simpson should have just been a fucking commentator on ESPN.
Yes.
He should have just done that as his job. He would have stayed out of trouble. And it would have created an income for him so that he literally could have gone out of the public eye for the wild ass shit he was doing, and instead just making like great plays, like being like, oh yeah, the Bills, they're doing great. Not without me, but they're doing great. Something like that. Yes. That would have been so easy.
Yes, it would have been great. And in his saddest Hello Twitter World video that he's done, in May of 2023, hello Twitter World. I swear to God, dude, you have to watch some of the videos. They're so funny. They're so funny. I'll find the Menendez brother one. I'll show you.
Oh, please.
OJ was reported that he had been diagnosed with cancer and expressed confidence that he would beat it. He said that he started chemotherapy. In February 2024, it was reported that OJ was undergoing treatment for prostate cancer. A week and a half before his death, OJ canceled the scheduled memorabilia signing because he was not feeling well, which I don't know who the fuck is going to that memorabilia signing. Would you go? Anybody?
No.
No. I don't. I don't think that I would.
I don't.
Even if I got the chance to meet him, I definitely feel like I would pull a Chris Tucker and be like, I really regret taking that photo.
You're like, I really regret taking that photo, but at least I got this cool photo. It was a New York Financier. His name's Jeff. Cool guy.
Oh yeah, I know him. He's West Palm Beach Pete.
Palm Beach Pete, yeah. So, Palm Beach Pete.
I gotta stay relevant. Any joke I could get in there that's current, I go for it.
In his last Twitter video, swear to God, that's a fucking insane statement that I have to say.
Yeah.
In his last Twitter video on February 11th, he said that while he was, quote, dealing with some health issues, he was in good health. In the final days before his death, all of OJ's children visited him, and then he died of cancer on April 10th, 2024, at the age of 76. Simpson had been living in Las Vegas next to Rhodes Ranch Golf Course and had shared a home with his oldest daughter, Arnell, while his youngest son, Justin, lived up the street from him. He was later cremated at the Palm Mortuary in downtown Las Vegas on April 17th, 2024. The executor of OJ's estate announced plans to fight the estate's money going to Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman families, but reversed course soon after, probably because everyone was fucking pissed off. No plans were made for public memorial, while there were tentative discussions of celebration of life, celebration for his family. His attorney said, handling the estate, stated that his cremains will be given to his children. And with that, mark the end of the OJ Simpson story.
Well,
goodbye, Twitter world.
Goodbye. Like the real question, because I'd have to do the double checking here, was his era of Twitter before or after Elon Musk had basically turned it into like Pornhub Lite?
Both.
Okay.
He was on both.
Oh, okay.
Because Elon bought Twitter in 2020? No.
Something like that.
2019, something like that.
In an article that came out just a few days ago, Buffalo Bills are building a new stadium, and OJ Simpson will not be honored at that stadium.
Oh, wow. Well,
one last gotcha.
Yeah, they got him.
Goodbye, Twitter world.
Goodbye, Twitter world.
But I think the biggest question that we should really ask is, who framed OJ Simpson?
OJ Simpson did.
So I will say there was a part of the story that I didn't necessarily add, but there was like speculation that his son might have done it.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Like that was a part of it, but it's unfounded. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
doesn't make any sense.
The question is, if OJ Simpson wasn't famous to the caliber he was, do you think he would have been charged?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yes.
You wouldn't have had the defense team.
Yes.
Yeah.
He would have
had a public. Well, what if he was like
public defender fucks you so many times?
What if he was like a C-list celebrity?
Fuck, dude. What if he just lived in like, I don't know, like what's a neighborhood in LA?
Burbank.
Yeah.
That's a city.
Well,
Santa Monica.
That's also a city. We're not good at this game.
Okay. I mean, Figueroa.
The Hills.
Figueroa.
The Hills.
Oh my God, that's a joke right there. I was gonna say, you do got to be careful there in Figueroa, because maybe your life won't be ended by a blade, but you are living your life on the blade.
Okay, let's just say, like, say he's like lives in fucking Alhambra, like in that section of the city. He just lives somewhere fucking random.
Yeah.
Just a
Mulholland
random
Drive.
guy.
Yeah.
Just a random guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his ex-wife and her friend get fucking murdered. They have all this evidence. He goes on this huge police chase, all this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And if he just had a fucking, a state-given attorney,
Yeah.
been over and done with.
Yes.
Yes.
1,000,000%.
That doesn't answer my question if he was like a C list or even B list. Because like at the time he was like an A list.
If he had the money,
yeah,
he still would have got away with it.
I'll say this because this appeals to what you're talking about right there. I don't think if you do this shit and you're on Love Island, you're getting away with it. I don't think that's happening.
Love Island contestants, people, whatever the fuck they do. I don't know. I don't watch Love Island.
I don't either, but I know it's significant.
I don't believe you.
You don't believe me?
No,
Okay.
the fact that you brought up Love Island is what...
You seem more of a love on the spectrum kind of guy.
Well, I might be on the spectrum, but I was going to say, I am 10 toes down about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I love I love me some Portia and some Nene Leakes. Like, oh my goodness, it was good quality fun. Yes, I watched that. Actually, I can't even believe I'm saying this. I've actually watched that throughout all of my relationships with the woman that I've dated. At some point in time, we have watched The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I know a lot about that, but I don't know anything about Love Island. And that's a fact.
I still don't believe that he knows nothing.
Okay.
But when you
learn something new every day.
You got to think about the fact that people that are on Love Island, whatever I want to say contestants, I don't feel like that's right. Because it's not like a game show. They're like E-listers at best.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, they are not like...
E.T., phone home.
That's just the listers for people who are dolphins.
They're like bottom of the barrel, like maybe influencers.
Oh.
Maybe.
You think influencers are E-listers?
Some of them.
I feel like they get way more showtime, way more FaceTime than like certain celebrities that are like well-known singers.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
They're not making the money that those people are making though.
No.
Yeah, no.
Like, if you name someone who is on Love Island, I'm not gonna know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
If you name, I don't know, Katy Perry, yeah, I know who that is.
Who? The astronaut. Yeah.
Yeah, the astronaut.
Yeah.
Like, you could name a.
Bill found that really funny.
No, I really did.
You could name even just a musician who's kind of fallen off, and I would know who it is. But you cannot name just someone on Love Island. I would not know who it is.
I was like the fucking irony of it was I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, a celebrity that had fell off. I was like, oh, R. Kelly. That was my immediate thought, and I was like, interesting choice that I chose that.
I'm fighting for my fucking life.
Like,
boy, did R. Kelly do something bad?
no, definitely not.
Did he just do what Ollie Sykes did, but Ollie Sykes got away with it?
Yeah.
I did.
After everything you put me through, I should have fucking pissed on you. Shut up, Bring Me the Horizon. Great band. Well, did OJ do it?
Yeah.
Yeah? You think so? Bill?
I
don't think so. I don't think he actually did it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I sound like. I approve this message.
No, Bill.
Thank you for saving my black card there. No, I will say that personally, like I said before in the episode, if I wasn't famous, there is no way in hell that the circumstances that presented themselves would be as favorable as they were for OJ. I will say that, and non-PC version, I will say, is I know my black ass would fucking go to jail if that shit happened.
So one thing I was going to mention that I forgot to even bring up,
Okay.
which is why I'm bringing up now, is I was talking about during the OJ trial. I talked about how the white and Hispanic communities were more so thinking that OJ was guilty, and the African American community was like, he's not guilty. And then after, obviously everything gets said and done with, and then he gets convicted of robbery and kidnapping and all that stuff and the gun charges, right?
Yeah.
They kind of went back and they interviewed everybody again, and they go, what do you think about now? And everybody was like, I think he probably did it. Like, it was just like, it was like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say my personal opinion
Okay.
is that OJ Simpson was framed. No, is that he did
Fred's
it.
invited to the cookout. No.
Hey, I am bringing Kraft mac and cheese.
Fucking leave.
No, OJ. I think OJ did it. I think OJ obviously did it. I feel like it's pretty cut and dry. I think if they, I think Officer Mark Furman fucked it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. He's a racist fucking pig, and he, he's a fucking idiot. They should have. You would think after the Rodney King incident, or the beating of Rodney King, and the riots that followed, LAPD would be a little more on top of that shit.
No.
And they go like, we should probably get rid of a lot of these guys that are like this.
No.
And they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They were doubling down.
Guess what? They made them look like fools again.
Yeah.
But you're not a fool. But I'm
pity
fool
the fool.
and so in love with you. Lucifer, my love. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, you can follow us on all our socials at HGOPodcast. You can send us your hate mail, your love mail, or your manifesto at HGOPodcast@gmail.com. You can follow me directly on my socials at I Hunt the Haunted. And coming in hopefully within the next week or so, maybe 2 weeks, depending on how long it takes. I got to figure out some stuff. We'll be having our own HGO Discord.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
It'll be very, very cool. I'll be in there hanging out, playing games. You can come play video games with me or Bill. And you hear Taylor in the background calling me names like stupid, dumb idiot. But yeah,
Why the fuck am I getting fucking bullied right now?
you bully me all the time.
I don't.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
The amount of bullying that I do to him, by the way, is
Please don't.
I'm not touching it.
So, I fucking hate that shit.
He
Anyway,
hates it so much, and it's my favorite thing to do.
but yeah, we'll have our own Discord, and that'll be a thing. And we don't have a Patreon, so just be free to join. And if we ever do create a Patreon, I'll create a little something for it, but it's not really important right now. Just come hang out with us. You can follow me on my socials at I Hunt the Haunted. I don't know if I already said that, but I'll pass it off to Tay.
You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lunar Thrill. He's stimming. That's all I got. That's all I do. And now it's Bill's turn.
Yes, I am on TikTok and Snapchat at Thrill of Bill, and on Instagram at bbernard4444. I think that's what. No,
need to change that.
No, I think I did change that. I think it's. Oh yeah, it's Bernard the Bill. That's what it is.
Thank God.
You're getting the update in real time. That's what it is. Bernard the Bill. I'm Bill Bernard.
See, I can't even. Your last name starts the same as your first name, so I can't even do it.
I'm like Ricky Bobby.
I can be like, I'm Greg Fraves, but if I do your name like that, it's Bill Bernard. Damn it. Well, remember to stay spooky.
Stay haunted.
And goodbye, Twitter world.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.